We now are going to conclude our look at the Bill of Rights as we go into Amendments 9 and 10, and then move beyond as we look briefly at the 14th Amendment as it relates to individual rights and liberties. The Ninth Amendment I generally refer to as that amendment that extends many rights to the people. The Ninth Amendment reads, "The enumeration in the Constitution of certain rights shall not be construed to deny or disparage others retained by the people." Those are some big words. The enumeration. The word enumeration means to basically list by number. And so up to this point, we have listed our rights and amendments 1 through 8. We've got the right to this. It's listed this, this, and this. That's what it says, the enumeration. So this says that just because we have listed these rights in the Constitution does not mean, that is, shall not be construed to deny or disparage, does not mean that we do not have other rights. So just because something was not mentioned specifically in the Constitution does not mean that we don't have it. All right. The Ninth Amendment says, look, there's other rights that we didn't list here. It doesn't mean that they don't exist. So we have many rights beyond those that are enumerated, beyond those that are listed right here in the Constitution. All right. So for example, this means we have other rights, even if they aren't on the list. For example, we have the right to privacy. Nowhere in the Constitution does it say we have the right to privacy. It kind of implies it in the Fourth Amendment. It kind of implies it in the Fifth Amendment. It kind of implies it a little bit in the Eighth Amendment, probably. But as far as specifically mentioning that there are certain places where people should be free from unwanted government intrusion, that is, we have the right to certain privacy, like in our persons, our papers, and our effects in our homes, we have that right. All right, and so that right to privacy, we definitely have an area where we should be protected from the government. Even though it doesn't say right to privacy, the Ninth Amendment says, oh yes, we do have that right, and maybe more. Abortion rights have fallen under the Ninth Amendment. Does a woman have the right to decide with her doctor whether or not she will have an abortion? In the ruling in Roe versus Wade back in 1973, the Supreme Court said, yes, this is one of those rights that people have the right to their bodies, and that includes a woman who is pregnant. And therefore, abortion rights, that is pro-choice, has been upheld based on the Ninth Amendment. More recently, the right to die has become an issue, especially as people have been living much, much longer. Do we have the right to end our own lives on our own terms? Now, I know it's very easy to say, it seems kind of silly for there to make it illegal for somebody to commit suicide. However, it is. And it's also illegal to help somebody commit suicide. And so the idea of being euthanized, the idea of having the right to face death on your own terms without having to go through excessive suffering and whatnot has been an issue in the United States over the last 30 years and increasingly. And this is certainly something that local legislatures are dealing with. And is this going to be part of the Ninth Amendment? Do we or should we have the right to end our own lives and to say when it's time so that we can meet the end with the dignity and without the pain that might otherwise be inflicted? So these are some of the hot issues that deal with the Ninth Amendment. Again, we have rights that are not on this list. And just because it doesn't say it's on the list doesn't mean we don't have it.